From clarity to claiming, there is so much to unpack here, so we are just going to jump right into it. When I think about from clarity to claiming in this season, it really makes me dive into the concept that there are so many of you who desire to have clarity on your purpose, right? And I want that for you for sure, right? But there's a period of knowing, getting to know your purpose, and then there's also that period of claiming and walking into it. And I just was speaking with Rich the other night about how many people say that they want whatever the manifestation is, right, to create and grow your dream business. And with the knowing that there will be journeys, obstacles, some people will not go on a journey, and other people will go on a journey and recognize again that whenever you experience turbulence, it's because that is a part of the journey. But let's go back to the concept of clarity, right? Before getting queenhood to where it is now, I really did not understand, especially when I first started off in business, about messaging, right? Having that solid message about what it is, who you help, and how it is that you help them, right? And for a while, I had imposter syndrome, the way I know a lot of the women who are interested in joining into my Business Confidence Academy have imposter syndrome, because you feel like you need to have all of the answers before you take action, right? So before you can even get to the point of claiming your truth, you feel like you need more clarity. I can understand that. I can resonate with that. Again, was there. Here it is. Clarity is in the doing, right? So in the Business Confidence Academy, yes, I help you with your confidence. Yes, I help you with your content. Yes, I help you be consistent. Yes, I help you develop your executive presence, right? Your rapport, your experience within yourself. Get clarity on your purpose, your why, right? You cannot really claim that life until you are okay with recognizing that you will never be 100% clear on who or how it is that your manifestation will come about, right? So every morning I've been striving to be intentional about affirming new beliefs inside of my mind. Joining Toastmasters International, the Statesboro chapter, Miss Marie Simpson is helping me redevelop my meditation practice. And I'm so grateful to Miss Marie for this reminding in my life that the positive psychological piece of us is really just about breathing, right? And you're trying to figure out how it is that you can be more clear on who you help, how you help, and be more clear in the energy of showing up. Miss Marie gonna tell you that you just need to focus on your breath. And I can agree with her, because here it is. Taking that time in the morning, right? Rejuvenating myself, especially if you've been tuning into the past podcast episodes, then you know that we have been striving to be a part of the 5 a.m. club. And that's so beautiful, because I remember when y'all used to go to the other clubs back then. Some of y'all still go to the clubs right now. That's what y'all call a good time. I call joining the 5 a.m. club a good time. Getting up, making that time for myself intentionally, right? And before I got back into the practice, right? Stay with me, because you could be in the same space too, where maybe you used to dance all the time, maybe you used to sing all the time, maybe you used to paint all the time, maybe you used to bake all the time, maybe you used to meditate, right? Take time for yourself, pray, whatever it is. And now you're trying to figure out how it is that you can get more consistent back into the practice for the clarity. Stay with me here. Being a part of the 5 a.m. club allows me to have the moment to reaffirm my thoughts, place new thoughts inside of my mind. Like I teach you all the time, your brain is like a tape recorder, right? So you're only going to get whatever tape you put inside the tape recorder, right? And you know, here, when we create and grow our dream business, and even inside of the Business Confidence Academy, and if you're even on that next level too, reading your books inside of the Confidence Corner, our book club, then you know we are not delusional with ourselves. Only thing we do is our absolute best, right? And so wanting clarity means that you're simply willing to do your absolute best right now, your truth, right? So when I wake up in the morning, I'm feeling good and I'm getting into my affirmations. One of my affirmations that I'm reading in the self-confidence journey that I'm going on within myself as I help you develop yours as well is that, number one, money is simply a reflection of your creativity, your capacity to focus, and your ability to add value and receive back. So with that truth, we then know that the amount of money that we want, billionaires stand up, that is going to come to you in various ways, in different interims from time to time. And it's going to be a reflection of the amount of service and value that you're able to add, and staying confident and consistent in knowing that you are willing to work and develop yourself to be more confident every single day until you have obtained the goal that you are worthy of. That's how we move to claiming what's ours. Literally 6:24, my birthday, was on the clock when that powerful download came through just now, right? Being inside of a space where you know, simply from reminding yourself that your good is coming to you from time to time and that you're not getting it all at one time. And so because we know that truth, we have to see when there's some energy resistant showing up, that's the opposite of us claiming what's ours. Now, I must admit, I'm really preaching this message to myself. I'm just recording it for you because that's the truth. That's the vulnerability. That's the transparency, right, that you get with working with me, Breye'l Banks, CEO and founder of Queenhood Finance, right? So now we're talking about claiming the energy. When you've already claimed your purpose, when you've already taken the time to know that life is simply a mirror and anything you've been through, it was simply the setup for you to be able to act inside of your purpose, right? Here in Queenhood, we only work with purpose-driven businesses. Why? Because the purpose is the reason for which something is created. So if you know that, claiming is the same as the reason for which something is created, walking in your truth, then you're gonna automatically be consistent. You may not always feel confident, you may not always feel motivated, you may not always feel like you have clarity, but you're divinely guided because this is your purpose. That's why it's so important to get clear on your purpose, because then when you can get clear on your purpose, you can continue to build those relationships, you can continue to connect, and your mind is not so stuck on people might not like you, people may say this about you, you don't connect well with people, like all of these negative thoughts. Those thoughts are holding you back so much when what you're not really understanding is any resistance in reference to making connections when you're operating in your purpose, when you have already claimed your truth, because you're okay with saying, as long as I have enough clarity to remember in my mind my purpose, to remember in my mind that my mission is to uplift myself first, so that way inevitably I can uplift others, which makes it way easier to claim your truth. When you've made that decision with or without clarity, 100% clarity, you will continue to move forward. This is so important. Moving from simply I need clarity to claiming this is who I am and this is what I'm going to do. I want so much for women globally, for you ladies globally, to recognize that executive presence, the ability to public speak, the ability to communicate well, right? Those things are all in how you show up for yourself. That's the benefit of being inside of the Business Confidence Academy, right? Because we're working on your personal confidence first, which inevitably is a reflection of how you're willing to show up. right? I'm telling you, the trend that I am seeing of the audacity and the confidence of women to be able to show and flaunt their personal lives of like going out, drinking, traveling, like buying stuff, driving, whatever. It is so interesting and bold to be able to have the energy to put that up on social media for people to see. But then the fear and imposter syndrome that happens when it's time to cold call, when it's time to call somebody and tell them about your business, when it's time to put up content about your business, when it's time to go to networking events, when it's time to get on the Zoom calls, when it's time to get in the group calls and connect, all of a sudden it's complicated. Wow. You have clarity on how to do that. So you're telling me it's easy to claim that version of yourself? It's more easy to claim that version of yourself than it is to now have clarity and be in your truth and say, I've done enough of that already. I'm ready to start doing this. I'm ready to go from clarity on thank you, God, thank you, universe, thank you, spirit, however it is you verbalize, thank you, source, for giving me clarity of my purpose. Do you know how many people I've ran into? And I'm not judging anybody, but do you know how many people 40 plus years old have no clue what their purpose is? 50 plus years old, no clue. 60, 70, 80 years old with no clue of what their purpose is? That's the definition of living in hell. Because now you're insane thinking that going to another job, creating another business, getting into another relationship, staying alone and being in solitude is going to help you feel better. But that is weird. Right? As humans, we are meant to connect. We are meant to be inside of a space where we give and give and give. That's because we're so abundant. So the opposite of that is like a miser, right? One who harbors coins or spends their coins on things that bring instant gratification, but is never truly fulfilling. That's why it doesn't matter how many clothes you buy, how many shoes you buy, how many drinks you drink, how many people you sleep with, how many trips you go on. When you're not in your purpose, it's never going to hit for real. That's why you're going to have to keep doing it. But I want you to take that same level of keep doing it, that same level of consistency, that same level of truth that you can see that as you have been doing the same thing over and over and over again, that when you have made positive switches to even get to this vibrational frequency that you are to listen to this message, I want to empower you and remind you that you can still claim your next level as well. That because you're listening to this, you already have clarity that you can use the power of your radical mind to step into that truth, right? That you can use the reality that you obviously already know how to be consistent doing some type of things, and that you can take that same skill and put it over here with your new claiming, right? And with that consistency again, to just speak your truth in another type of way, in a positive way, in a way that uplifts others, humanity, really actually willing to labor for a harvest that's worth so much more than the dollar could even equate to. We're talking about soul-free energy. We're talking constant new awareness and clarity of the next direction, right?